The secret feud between Paul and John that broke up the Beatles. The Beatles were more than just a band. They were a global phenomenon that transformed the world of music forever. But behind the scenes of their extraordinary success lay a growing rift between the group's two key figures, Paul McCartney and John Lennon. What began as a powerful creative partnership slowly dissolved into personal tensions, business disagreements, and artistic clashes that ultimately contributed to the band's breakup. Paul and John met in 1957 as teenagers in Liverpool. Together, they formed the heart of the Beatles, writing hundreds of hit songs that defined a generation. Their dynamic was unique. Paul, the perfectionist with a melodic sensibility, and John, the rebellious visionary with a raw edge. But after the sudden death of their manager, Brian Epstein, in 1967, cracks began to appear. Paul wanted his future father-in-law, Lee Eastman, to manage the band, while John, supported by George and Ringo, backed the more aggressive and controversial Alan Klein. The disagreement over management drove a wedge between them and marked the start of deeper divisions. In September 1969, John told the others that he wanted to leave the Beatles. However, on Klein's advice, he kept the decision private to avoid disrupting ongoing business deals. Then, in April 1970, Paul announced to the public that he was leaving the band, using the release of his solo album as the moment to go public. The media exploded, blaming Paul for breaking up the Beatles, even though it was John who had wanted out first. Years later, Paul clarified, "It wasn't me who split the Beatles. That was our Johnny." Things escalated from there. Paul subtly criticized Lennon and Yoko Ono in his solo song Too Many People. John, never one to hold back, fired back with a brutal response to the song How Do You Sleep, which directly attacked Paul's legacy. The lyrics included the biting line, "The only thing you done was, yesterday," a jab at Paul's most famous song. Their feud even extended to personal letters, one of the most infamous being a furious message from John to Paul and Linda, expressing his frustration with their attitude toward him and Yoko. Despite the public back and forth, their personal relationship began to thaw in the mid-1970s. In 1974, they jammed informally together, and in 1976, they famously watched Saturday Night Live together, laughing about a live joke offer of $3,000 to reunite the Beatles. They almost went to the studio on a whim, but never did. It became one of rock history's great what-ifs. Their final conversation took place over the phone in 1980. John told Paul he was enjoying life as a house husband, and their talk was friendly and filled with warmth. Just days later, John Lennon was shot and killed outside his apartment in New York City. The news stunned the world and left Paul heartbroken. In the aftermath, Paul penned Here Today, a deeply personal song written as a letter to John. It's a moving tribute, filled with regret and unspoken words, reflecting the love and respect that remained beneath all the tension. The feud between Paul McCartney and John Lennon wasn't just a fight between egos, it was a story of two close friends, collaborators, and rivals navigating fame, pressure, and personal change. Though they clashed, they never stopped caring for one another. And in the end, their bond, both musical and emotional, continues to echo through history.